Got a new deck. Looks pretty spicy. We're rocking the Mystic Sanctuary package. But we did the math, and Once Upon a Time actually allows for us to have a very respectable color density, even though we are running it. And including that we have this one forest. But all of these lands are either islands or they fetch for islands. And then, of course, Mystic Sanctuary itself is an island. This deck has the unique advantage, or the power of being able to Thought Scour itself, which helps us find deprives for our Sanctuary loop later in the game, which is pretty great. And yeah, so we've just got the normal Delver Shell. We've got 6/1 mana burn spells. We're running a bit of a hot take with our deck. We're running all instants, which is pretty nice. I haven't really missed Serum Visions too much. So yeah, we've got 15 creatures, 18 lands, and we're running 27 spells. So this is about the spread that I really like running. Yeah, I think we're going to just go through one practice match, and then I think I might just jump into a league if I think it feels alright. Let's get into this tournament practice. Create a lobby. Yeah, I've high hopes for this deck. It definitely looks very reasonable. Doke. Start game. I'd really like a way to get this, either to get this stream chat to pop out because it looks super clean, or to get this viewer count to come out. I mean, it would help if I had 2 monitors. Oh, okay, that works too. Okay. Well, this is why the tournament practice stream is not exactly as competitive as we want it to be, but we're just trying to get. We won the roll. Sweet, I'll take the blame. We'll keep it. It's fine. Sounds good if Bolt is good. We've got all of our colors. Just play it Delver. Pass the turn. This gives our opponent very little information about what other colors we may or may not be playing. We'll just see how they make their turn one. Flagstones. Champion. Interesting. So now we have the interesting situation of, do we bolt the champion now, or do we offer the trade? Okay, well I think we're going to offer the trade and just pass the turn. Or like play a Hex Drinker and pass the turn. So let's go to combat, swing for 1. Because we're fine trading off threats. And of course, that's not part of their game plan. Forest is the only card in our deck that doesn't turn on Mystic Sanctuary, so that means that we're going to need a minimum of 5 lands to turn it on, which is kind of annoying. Remember, this Misty Rainforest represents a Sanctuary later down the line too, which has a non-zero amount of relevance. And if we're going to be fetching Basic Island, we might as well fetch a Sanctuary so that future deprives can bounce it back to hand. Just like a new dimension of play patterns that I need to get used to. So I believe we're going to let this resolve. And we're going to build this in response. So the only issue is that they could have a Brave the Elements or something in their deck, which does not look like they have. Doom Traveler. Okay. Doom Traveler is really good against our Hex Drinker. Okay, we will not reveal that, but Mystic Sanctuary is just an untapped land. So we control 3 or more other islands. So it'll be a tap land now. We can fetch island Bolt the Champion. Or we could fetch island level Hexdrinker. I think I like leveling Hexdrinker here. It makes it hard for them to be aggressive, and they might just not have an answer for this guy. And we could just steal the game. And then one more land, and then our Sanctuary is turned on, and we could start looping Lightning Bolts, which feels really good. So keeping Bolt at our graveyard feels nice, and I think just taking this opportunity to level a Hexdrinker is the right play. Hopefully our Delver flips next turn. But if it is a land on top, then we can set up the flip in 2 turns, or opt during our upkeep or something. We have plenty of tricks. Sequencing is just very difficult when you add cards like this into the deck. Opponent is not playing mono white, so it's possible they're playing a small box deck with Doom Traveler. Cartel Aristocrat. Oh, okay, this is making more sense. Okay. Doom Traveler. Okay, now they have a 4/4 Champion of the Parish. So this is the situation we get punished for not snap bolting, essentially. Okay, they're not attacking. Delver flips. Delver does flip. It's my boy. Okay, well, let's hit him for 3. I think that's a definite. I don't think we're gaining much by holding this guy back. So let's draw this. Begin combat. I don't think we play this tapped. I think we can pass the turn, play Snapcaster, and then bolt their champion. That feels fine. I like that. And then Hexdrinker can threaten to block any of their other creatures if they just try to swing all. And that kills Champion of the Parish through a single pump, which is good. So he doesn't even get pumped for this, but that's representing a lot of damage. So it's possible we're just burst lightning this. Okay, let's let. Oh, okay, but letting Doom Traveler trigger resolve, that's problematic for us, right? So if our plan is to burst lightning, then we should do it now. I think we're fine with just letting these resolve, and then we'll just continue with our current plan. Try to kill this champion of the parish. Because if we lose, it's definitely to this champion. It's not to Blood Artist shenanigans. They just don't have the creatures to do that. Pro red. That seems reasonable. But that means we can still block it, which feels pretty good. Yeah, they're just going all in right now, which feels a little bit aggressive. I think they can afford to wait. I don't think there's any reason to... I mean, they get to go pro green now, I guess. Snap, target bolt, block champion. This is a creature. Oh, they're convoking. Return to the ranks. Oh my god. This is really awkward that this is a forest and we run Deprive in our deck, because that means we can't opt into it. But we can still hit a Spill Pierce, so we're going to go for it. This could just be wrong. Yeah, and there's the Deprive that I talked about. Deprive looping them feels good, but we're missing an island for that, so we're going to bottom it. Okay, there's an island. Yeah. Oh, you know what? We should have definitely... Okay, well, we're killing this one now. Should have definitely killed the Blood Artist, because now we're just gonna die. Right? That's a little silly of us. Burst Lightning on the Blood Artist is definitely where you want to be. It's just play patterns like this that you just don't really... I'm gonna turn off auto yields. It was just too much on this deck. Okay, so now they hit us for 7, 8, 9. Yikes. And then we die. Alternatively, we block. I think we're just gonna go to the next game. I don't think we win from here. That was pretty crazy. Okay, so they're playing Returned from the Ranks. I still don't know what the Flagstones of Troke are doing. But Skew seems fine as like French Graveyard Hate. They're also playing a fair deck. Staticaster seems fine. Veil of Summer seems okay. Braid seems okay. Grafdigger's Cage stops Return from the Ranks, so I think it also warrants a slot. Spill Pierce does hit Return from the Ranks. Vapor Snag seems okay for like resetting champions, but I think it's going to be sided out. That could be a mistake, I don't know. Spell Snare seems alright here. The issue is that a lot of our cards are just alright. There's not a whole lot of stuff that's actively bad in this matchup, which definitely feels good. Okay, so what do we trim here? We don't necessarily need the Scoozes or the Grafdigger's Cage or the Staticasters, but they're all really nice. I think we can reasonably cut one Scour, one Snare because it's a little narrow, and then we can trim a Deprive because Deprive locking them doesn't sound super great. I don't know. On the play, I think we keep Deprive in, and then we bring out... We have another minute to decide. I don't know what the last cut is here. This is really close. Maybe it's just an opt. It is really, really close, mind you. There's no perfect cut because all our cards are just so good against them. But now we know what they're playing. I need to be better at anticipating some of these like rogue deck cards, but we're on the play again. This hand is perfectly reasonable. We've got Delver of Secrets followed by Deprive. We're gonna keep. And we have a Once Upon a Time, of course. So we have to cast the Once Upon a Time first. So we'll do that. Gidok, we have our pick of whatever we want. I mean, I'm game to just grab another Rainforest. It represents all of our colors. And a Sanctuary later down the line. So let's go get a Steam Bends, untapped, play a Delver past the turn. This way we get to curve Delver into Deprive, and then it does put us back a turn so we can't Staticaster on curve, but it's fine. If they don't have a 1-drop, we feel really good. What is that? Okay. It's interesting. We're definitely passing the turn with Deprive up. That's for sure. Hopefully this Delver flips, because I'm not attacking into that. No. Okay, now we're in an interesting situation of, do we play second Delver, or do we pass the turn with Deprive? And I think Cartel Aristocrat, if I recall correctly, that's what it's called, is too important to be kept up. I don't know. Maybe Maybe we just take the risk, play the Delver, because we're on the play. But I think this turn I'd rather. No, we save the Deprive for the big payoff spell, right? I'm thinking about whether or not I want to fetch an island or hold up Breeding Pool. In case you guys are wondering. But I think I'll grab the island now, and then this can be a Breeding Pool. And then land number 4. This could be the land number 4, or next turn it could be the land number 4. Or 2 turns from now, sorry. I think you guys know what I'm saying, but yeah. And we do have a viewer. Thank you for dropping by. We're just trying to figure out what our opponent's doing. They're playing a Black-White Aristocrats deck with Return from the Ranks and the Blood Artist and Aristocrats. Okay, so this is really good. We get rewarded super hard for keeping this Burst Lightning. Yeah, they got it. This is going to give them an untapped land and a tapped land. And we get to, if they play a 1-drop, we get to Burst Lightning their champion. And then they don't play a 1-drop, then we just get to untap Staticaster their champion, and they feel super bad. That's probably concession territory, honestly. Our Delvers might be flipping too. Yeah. Like, we don't even bother Burst Lightning here. We just, hopefully these guys flip. That'd be nice. No, okay. That means that we don't have to fetch shock, though. I also love how we hit our forest in both of these games, which makes Mystic Sanctuary even more awkward. I mean, that's what you get for running Basic Forest, but the opportunity cost of running Basic Forest is essentially pretty low. It puts us back a turn, worst case, which is not awful. So we're definitely just passing here, I think. Yeah, I don't think we can attack. Just wait, and then they play a spell. We Staticaster. We just want them to essentially commit stuff to the board when we can Staticaster. So this is a human, so we're going to Staticaster. I love how I instinctively just tap Temur Colors there. No, that was the only way I could tap. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, get priority again. Shoot this guy. And again, Staticaster is just an absurd magic card. It's like Wrenn and 6, but it's findable off of Once Upon a Time. Super good. And it's honestly like almost better than Wrenn and 6 too. It's a little bit easier to remove, but you just have that consistent 1 damage, and then you could use it at instant speed too. And it works better against tokens. But it does die to creature removal, which decks already bring it against you. So you can make the arguments either way. As to like what its true merits are. So let's flip these guys. Nope, okay. I might have been a little bit. Oh, okay, draw for turn. We're going to play this land, and we're not going to crack it. Because this is going to be a sanctuary. Alternatively, we can fetch another island. And then that'll give us 4 cards in our graveyard, so we could play a Mantrolls and hold up Deprive. Seems loose. I think we're going to shoot this guy. His trigger's going to go on the stack. Okay. Or do they sacrifice him? It works out either way. And then we kill it. I think we wait for Sanctuary. I think it's just the upside play. Playing Mandrills is good here, but if we can deprive lock them out of the game, that's better. Our opponent has a 1-1 with lifelink. Our Delvers need to start flipping soon too. That's an important point. And if our opponent just passes the turn, this is going to be a tap Sanctuary. Viserys here. I mean, we're honestly just holding this Deprive for exactly Return to the Ranks. Nothing else really matters too much. And if we counter this, then Unearth targeting. Also, we could just kill it, so there's that too. I think we're fine with this. This is pod racing, honestly. This is some pinnacle magic. We kill this Viserys here. Or we can attack and then force their move. We just have so many good options right now. It feels really good. We might actually go fetch untap breeding pool here too. We got ourselves a reader over here. Dude, what sort of crummy magic card is this? It doesn't do anything. Requires a lot of mana to use, right? And it's a 2-3 with Death Touch. I don't think we care. And it makes Mandrills really hard to win with, but I think we just let this resolve. I can't imagine them winning with it, you know? They have 3 sacrifice outlets. Yeah, it's fine. OP is the real winner. Honestly, the deck's pretty sweet. They're up 1 game against us, too. Also, our Delvers haven't flipped all game. This is just embarrassing. Okay. Yep. Drop for turn. Let's begin to combat. Hit it for 6. We definitely just kill the soldier here. We don't even care about the Viserys here. Because they already have plenty of sacrifice outlets. And we don't want them to sacrifice stuff in response. I mean, like, obviously they get to scry 1 here, but we don't really care enough to do anything about it. Okay, so that's good. Now we're going to look for a land or anything off of this. Spells are good too. And then we're going to play a Mandrills. Okay, so we can fetch a tapped breeding pool, play Sanctuary untapped, put back our Burst Lightning, and then play a Mandrills, right? We have to do it in that order, essentially, because otherwise we shuffle it away, right? And that works. Oh my god, this deck is so sweet. We're 5 minutes done because I've had to think way too much. And we need double green for Scoos, so it can actually be relevant. So tap Breeding Pool. We added a second Breeding Pool to the list. Play a Mystic Sanctuary. I mean, Burst Lightning's just good, right? Deck, put it on top. Yep. Yep. Oh my god, this deck is actually just so sweet. For any of you guys that think our opponent has won, and I'm looking at you, Jack, our deck is the real victor here. This is honestly so sweet. So I crunched the numbers if you didn't check the Discord today, and I have managed to attain the same red color density in my deck with 3 less lands. The same blue color density. This is their last card. We literally just deprive this. Watch as our opponent concedes. Oh, not really. I mean, we do. Holy shit! Holy shit! Oh my god, this is a masterpiece. This is so great. Dude, I'm the happiest man alive. This deck is so good. We literally we built an unstoppable masterpiece of a deck. It runs Huntmaster of the Fells, Izzet Staticaster, Scavenging Ooze, Mystic Sanctuary. I need some copies of this in paper. They cost like 50 cents each. This is the first time R&D printed a cool Magic card at common in many sets. I mean, we've got Hooting Mandrills. He's a cool common. We got Delver, cool common. Deprive's also, ironically, a common. Lightning Bolt's a common. Burst Lightning's also a common, if I recall correctly. Yeah. Thought Scour's a common. Opt's a common. I mean, I guess I'm talking shit about our deck, but Mystic Sanctuary is a card with a lot of text that you don't normally see on a common, which is pretty gas. It is honestly secretly a pauper deck. Like even in Legacy, it's like what they ran Daze. That was pauper legal for a while. They ran Brainstorm. Like it was honestly still a pauper deck. It splashed like Force of Will, which all Legacy decks do. Okay, we're gonna keep this. This is fine. Staticaster is of course Gasoline, and then Delver's good. And we also have 3 lands, which is good for Sanctuary. I mean, Sanctuary put back a cantrip obviously isn't great, but it's better than top decking. Oh my god. Speaking of the devil, pass the turn. Opponent, is your deck as cool as ours? I didn't think so. It's close though. I mean, they play Aristocrat here. I feel like bad, but they play Blood Artist, and then we get to kill it with a Staticaster eventually. Okay, they have a bear. I mean, Delver should flip this turn. Okay, we get to look at the top card. Mandrills. Okay. I'm fine with playing a turn 2 Mandrills. I don't think we can, though. So, we draw for turn. This is 3 cards. 4 cards. We're 1 card short. So we're just gonna pass it back to our opponent, and then we get to opt Thought Scour. We'll opt first, specifically looking for a Spell Snare, and I don't think we fetch. I think because we might pot him like a other potentially decent card. I don't know. That one's hard. I think since we have another fetch in our hand that we're playing next turn. Okay. Okay. Our opponent's got some spice. Well, let's Thought Scour ourselves in case we hit a bolt, right? Or opt in case we hit a bolt. Then we can bolt this in response while they have no creatures. Definitely don't want that. Okay, not quite. Yeah, that resolves. Hit us for 2. No. Oh. Ooh, I'm actually surprised our opponent didn't even attack us there. Let's get a untapped breeding pool. Yes. Thought Scour me. Now we draw the bolt. Okay, well that's not that bad. Upkeep. What do we got? No reveal. Okay. Let's see how it is. Okay, draw for turn. Have another Flooded Strand. Staticaster not looking super great on this board. I think we just play this untapped. Play a Mandrills. We can exile Mystic Sanctuary without worry, and then I think Opt is better than Thought Scour. So we're gonna do that. This definitely telegraphs a bolt, but it could also telegraph a spell snare or anything else really. So I think it's pretty neutral, which is good enough for me. We'll see what our opponent does. They don't have a graveyard, so Rally isn't super scary at this point. At the same time, Thought Scour is really good because it okay, that's really good. I think we're supposed to kill the Necromancer here. Just keep as many humans off the field as possible. And then we have the potential to get a Staticaster to kill this champion if they don't have another human, which is plausible but unlikely. I mean, it's possibly go. Oh my. Dude, our opponent is on some hot tech. We also totally get the Sanctuary our Bolt back to the top of our deck, in case anybody's curious, and then set up our Delver flip, in case he doesn't flip this turn, for whatever reason. You know, he just decides to be dumb or something. Unearth Zathra Necromancer. Holy tamale. And I thought we were running hot. Then again, we have 6 lands. Like, we're definitely not running hot, but I could hope, right? I'm not sure what our odds of winning this game are anymore. I don't think we can beat the Zathra Necromancer. Especially if we just draw another land. Like, we're in 18 lands. Holy tamale. Dude, this has to be some sort of trick. Okay, well, let's Sanctuary. Target Bolt. Yep. Yep. We could just kill Soul Warden here. Yeah, I guess we're killing Soul Warden. Like, obviously this doesn't feel great, because then they just get another zombie. The second Staticaster lets us kill all their X2s though, which is pretty cool. Look at all these triggers, holy tamale. What did they give this Aristocrat protection from? Green? From red? We played our land for chain. Okay. Not that it matters, we're not attacking with this Mandrills, but... Our opponent's deck's super intricate, though. If they don't have anything in their hand, we're in a good spot. If they have anything, we're in a bad spot, though. Like, if these 3 cards were spells, we might be winning this game, but they're not, so we're gonna be losing it most likely. Oh. Okay. Blood Artist would be terrifying here. Or Zulaport Cutthroat, which is essentially Blood Artist. Fatal Push. Staticaster. Yeah, that'd be how it'd do. What's this white for? Path to exile my Hooting Mandrills? No. Okay. They're probably just gonna swing in. Nah. Okay. Okay. We've got a chance. I will reveal the Lightning Bolt. Draw for turn. Okay, now we can start clocking them. The question is, oh, dude, we get to fetch at their end step for a Mystic Sanctuary to put back the Bolt. This is some holy tamale. I am thoroughly the most enthusiastic child in the entire universe at this point. That's actually so cool. This is so unbelievably cool. We're probably forced to kill the Zathra Necromancer. Now I kind of want to kill the Champion of the Parish. Because it's just going to grow out of proportion. And I don't think we can let it live. Not that I like playing against a lot of zombies either, but we get to kill the Zathra Necromancer, and then they have they have 6 bears and a 1/1 to our 4/4, which again does not feel great. But our opponent has not taken a single aggressive attack, so it's possible they just don't take an aggressive attack at any point in the near future. Okay, so let's think about this for a second. Bringing back Bolt to our hand obviously is very reasonable, but the only thing we could bolt on their board is Zathra Necromancer, and I'd rather have a different spell, I think. Like, I think I'd rather be able to hit a Deprive or something. So we're going to go to our turn. We're going to draw. We're just not going to Sanctuary back a... Okay, well now we feel bad. Okay, let's go to combat. Let's just hit him for 3 again. I'm just going to try to clock him. It's possible we could Sanctuary back an Opt too, but I don't know. And then obviously Deprive is one of our best top decks here. So I could see a world where Sanctuarying back an Opt is very good. This is crazy. Our opponent's deck is super spicy. Because now they could just sacrifice their Haunted Witness. Yep. Okay, we gotta yield all of these, right? We're just not. Yeah. And they can potentially our opponent just has so many triggers. They're just creating a horde that we need to be able to deal with. Well, they got rid of that card, which is pretty good for us, but they could also just have Return from the Ranks here and then kill us. That would feel pretty bad. I'm enjoying this Mystic Sanctuary package though. It's creating like a new depth to gameplay. While it doesn't really take away from our colors very much. We're conceding to return to the ranks, right? Oh, they have it. Yeah. That be how it do. That be how it do. Okay, this is just a game in the practice room, but it was good. I thought I enjoyed the deck. So I think I'm game to play it in a league. But first off, I think I should just talk about some of the card choices. I think so first of all, let's talk about why this deck works. So recently there's been some blue-red lists online that have found success running a Mystic Sanctuary package. And my favorite color combination is Temur. So naturally, I wanted to play a Temur variant of this deck. So the blue-red list looks virtually identical to this. It's just it runs an extra land or 2. So think of this forest as 2 islands, right? They run no mountains, 0 mountains, super greedy. And they run 4 steam vents instead of the split of shocks that we have. And then they run the same 8 fetches. Not the exact same, obviously, but they run 8 fetches. So the concern with running 3 colors is that you're not going to be able to support all 3 of your colors with Mystic Sanctuary in your deck because it requires you to run a lot of islands, and you'd want some sort of stomping ground or something in this list, and you want to have basic forest so that you can cast your spells. However, Temur kind of circumvents this with Once Upon a Time because this card essentially functions as an extra land. So what I did was let's close that before anything echoes. I created a spreadsheet that just sort of compared the color densities of these two decks. So we have our Mystic Sanctuary here, and the blue red variant runs about 20 lands. I just took it from a random deck, and then it runs about 12 red sources. So our raw deck runs 17 blue sources, right? 18 lands total, so the forest being a non-blue source. It runs 10 red sources, which is just the 8 fetches and the 2 steam vents, and then it runs 12 green sources. So, of course, if we compare those side by side, we're down about at a 3 blue source deficit, which is not where you want to be. We're at a 2 red source deficit, and then we're about on parity with green sources. But once you factor Once Upon a Time into the situation, then we get approximately an 85% success rate at finding a blue source. So if you multiply that by the 3 copies, then we get an adjusted value of about 19.55 blue sources, which is very comparable to 20. It is a little bit lower than I like when it comes to like comparative values, but I think it's a reasonable starting point, and I think it's fair to assume that we'll have enough islands to play the deck at a reasonable rate. So that's for islands. And then as for red sources, we're at about parity. This is actually closer to 11.98, if anybody cares about the math, which is very comparable to 12, right? This is functionally the same number. And then 14.1 as a splash color, which isn't really a splash color. We're essentially blue-green splashing red, but it's the same concept as blue-red. So yes, Once Upon a Time allows us to splash these different cards, and what these cards do is they fix a lot of the core issues that blue-red has. So we have a powerful sideboard plan. We get to run Veil of Summer, which is just an atrociously disgusting magic card that should have never been printed. It's essentially a 1-mana Cryptic Command, and the matchups that we bring it in, we get Scavenging Ooze, which is a nice multi-purpose creature that functions as both a threat, a way to trip the graveyard, a way to hit on synergy cards and value cards like Snapcaster Mage, and it also just has the potential to get big or to gain life. So it kind of just pulls a lot of weight, which feels very good. We get access to Hunt Master of the Fells, which is a great sideboard option that essentially allows us to win the game on the spot. And then, of course, we see a lot of the blue-red cards just straight from the blue-red deck. Notably, we're running a lot of creatures in our sideboard. And this is important because creatures are findable off of Once Upon a Time. So yes, this card is used to fix our color density, but sometimes it also fixes our creatures, and it's kind of the glue that keeps the deck all together. So yes, it enables us to splash a third color with the Mystic Sanctuary package, which is great. It feels wonderful. But not only that, is it allows us to skimp on lands and play high CMC cards. And not only that, but it also fixes the Delver of Secrets wrong half problem, where it'll just draw all its interaction. And let's be honest, Delver doesn't run premium interaction. Its premium interaction card is Deprive, which is embarrassing, right? But the fact that it's able to find a threat more often is good. Again, this doesn't represent a full creature, but even saying a third of my Delver deck, or just under a third of my Delver deck's creatures, is just very, very potent. And then as far as other card choices, the deck's mostly instant speed. I think this also synergizes with the fail case of Once Upon a Time, which is also an instant, and we can cast it at their end step. And holding at mana is just generally what our deck wants to be doing. And yeah, that's the list. So I just wanted to kind of talk about my card choices, the adaptation, and why I think Once Upon a Time is such a powerful effect that really does belong in our deck. Um, and then as for the fourth copy of Once Upon a Time, it is possible that we do want a fourth copy of Once Upon a Time. However, uh, the fail case of the card is a 2-mana cantrip, and a 2-mana cantrip is just straight up not something that we want to see multiples of. I think 3 copies, I've seen it enough times for it to make an impact in the game. Obviously, it's put our colored mana sources up to the thresholds that they need to be at, to the point that I'm satisfied with the card. But running a fourth copy runs the potential risk of drawing 2 of them in the early game, which is essentially a dead draw, and in a deck that needs all of its draws to count. As you saw in that last game against Aristocrats, we drew maybe 3 or 4 too many lands. It feels bad. So cool quirks about this deck over traditional Delver decks is that we have a lot of ways to use our mana later in the game. We have Mystic Sanctuary that rewards us for playing many lands. We have Hexdrinker, which again rewards us for playing many lands. And then we have Once Upon a Time, which functions as just a good mana sink, as well as our other cantrips. So I guess this isn't terribly unique to our deck, but it's a good point. We also have Scavenging Ooze and Huntmaster of the Fells as great top end and mana sinks as well. So that's the deck. I think I am going to jump into a league and play maybe 1 match. If you guys want to see that, we have 2 viewers, so I think I'll jump to a match. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck deck. If you guys don't like me doing deck decks and you just don't care about what I think about each of the cards, or you think that or you have any critique or things to improve, feel free to PM me on. I'm not sure if Twitch even allows you to do private messages, but just message me on Discord, and I'd be happy to respond. So I think we're going to jump into a league. I think the list is reasonable enough, and if we do run into issues, then we can just iron them out along the way. Let us play a league match. Join the match. Okay. I won the die roll. Would I like to play first? Yes, please. Okay. So this is an all-interaction hand with Snapcaster Mage. So this hand's either very good or very bad, but I think we're going to keep it, because even if we're against something like Burn, I think having interaction is just reasonable enough. So we're going to go... Seems good. Let's see what our opponent's on before we do anything rash. Citadel. They play a Mox Opal. I think I might be spell piercing this. Yeah, I think we're spell piercing this. Let's get a Steam Vents. This can fetch for us, so this is just like a minor percentage play. We'll spell pierce this. We don't know exactly what they're playing, but getting rid of fast mana is always a good idea, because they're just going to outpace this spell pierce and cast more spells than we can deal with. This is the equivalent of bolting the dork, except it's tempo disadvantageous. Oh my god, they actually have second opal. This is absurd. Our opponent's just styling on us. We we had no chance there. There was no winning that battle. So we still don't know what they're playing. They could be playing an Emery deck. They could be playing Affinity, Hardened Scales. Okay, Spell Snare's really good here. We thought Scar ourselves. Yeah, feel bad if we hit a bolt exactly. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I don't think we're fetching down to 14, so I think we're just getting a tap land. Although we can fetch down to 14 just so that we get our mana just like in the game, so then we can get to cast an extra spell, which feels alright. I think maybe that's the right plan. It's a little aggressive, but we're not under a whole lot of pressure, and I think I'd rather just have perfect mana and cast all my spells. So we're going to Thought Scour again. I'm not looking for anything in particular. Okay, so now we get to either pass the turn with Snap Bolt up, playing an island, and then we can Sanctuary next turn. And we have a Deprive in our graveyard, mind you. And then we're also holding up Opt and Spell Snare. I think that sounds great. I have no objections. It sounds a lot better than opting, looking for Hooting Mentrals, which is our second best line. And then holding up Spell Snare, obviously. And not necessarily just Hooting Mentrals, just any creature we can commit to the board. We have Spell Pierce in our graveyard. Let's take a gander over here. So let's close this chat. It's taking up a lot of space. We don't really care about their graveyard too much. They're gonna hit us for one. Probably. No, okay. So our opponent gonna be playing a Ravager? Stirrings. Ravager. Metallic Mimic. Well, we're spell snaring this. We have Snap Snare for next turn too. Just feels good all around. We're gonna opt here to bottom. That's a good top deck. Let's draw for turn. I think we're gonna put Deprive on top. Okay, and then we're going to... We could play Hexdrinker and hold up Snap Snare. I think that's our best line. And then we've got the Deprive Soft Lock for future turns. And a Hexdrinker that's already in play. It seems really good. Jeez, who built this deck? Honestly, whoever printed Mystic Sanctuary, I think this card's just very fun. Like, it doesn't do anything blatantly broken. It's essentially just infinite card selection, which is like a Planeswalker, and then it has a very real downside. Okay, Hardened Scales is unfortunately resolving, because Snap Pierce doesn't quite counter it. And it can't be Spell Snared, obviously. So, if this is a Ballista... If this is anything, we're Spell Snaring it. Yeah, Walker. That one's getting Spell Snared. I'm really, really enjoying this deck, though. Like, most of the time, we're not able to put ourselves into a driving position against these linear decks. But, like, right now, I'm just able to go play this, Level. Oops. Level. Level. And then I just get to go to combat, and I'm holding up Deprive for the rest of the game. If they want to trade with Snapcaster, of course I'm fine with that. Yep, they just take down to 14. And they're on a very real clock. And yeah, it just feels good. Feels freaking good. We also get to Once Upon a Time if they don't play anything into our Deprive. Which feels good. It's just kind of a feels good all around. I think this slows us down enough to the point where we actually want to counter it. I mean, it's very possible they have land plus follow-up threat, and that was just like their first one. But this is Stirrings. Scales. Oh my god. I'm scared for my life right now. But we also kind of just get to draw for turn. Let's play a Sanctuary. We probably target Deprive here, but they go to 8 next turn. Or they go to 8 if they take it this turn. So putting back Bolt lets us kill them. That sounds a lot better than taking a loose card. Yeah. Okay. Let's level. Level. Pass. This way we're able to use all of our mana, which feels good. And then they're dead to Hexdrinker level plus Lightning Bolt. Assuming they don't muster up a 4 power Ballista. And we're not actually casting this Once Upon a Time. Just in case anybody's curious, because we have a Bolt on top of our deck. Okay, so this resolves. We don't actually care about Ravager. It doesn't do anything. If they cast a Ballista after this, then we're scared. They finally gonna attack with this worker? I don't even know what our opponent's doing. This is a weird game. Okay, well let's level. 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 Swing for 6. Bolt. And we have Spell Pierce back up. And for the first time in forever, we actually have more time on clock than our opponent. In case anybody's keeping track. Staticaster's alright here. These are fine. I like these. I think Staticaster's good enough. It kills Thopters, they have a lot of X1s. Snag is alright at forcing through Ravagers. Burst Lightning's okay. Spell Pierce is obviously our worst card. Spell Snare is obviously one of our best. How good is Staticaster? I mean, it might be worth bringing in. Probably take out... I have a tendency to always trim ops, and that's not generally correct. I don't think single target removal is really great here. I think it's okay. So I think we're gonna do this. But I could see trimming one opt to bring in second snack. I think this is fine. We'll just try it like this. Huntmaster's fine here too. I think it's better when we're on the play, and we can actually guarantee that we make 4 lands. This is good. But Ancient Grudge is a pretty reasonable card in this matchup, so I've heard. If they go turn 1 Arcbound Worker, we get to fetch shock bolt it. On our turn. We don't even want them to play a card, because otherwise they'll get to put the counter on a land, like an Inkmoth, that they can play on their turn. Forest Hardened Scales. Forest Stirrings. Forest Hardened Scales. Okay. Well, that means our turn 1's going to be Hex Drinker. Yes, I would like to pay life. Yes, I would like to play a 2-1. Yes, I would like to pass the turn. They tap out for a specifically a Ravager, we feel pretty good. If they play a Ballista, we feel very bad though. This looks like a Ballista. Yikes. Okay. Killer Hex Drinker. Yep. It's pretty good. Let's draw for turn. Let's pass the turn. We're probably bolting this Ballista and then thought scarring ourselves. If they swing first, like an intelligent person, we will be bolting it. Our opponent finally learned how to attack. But we're gonna... We could also just take one and see if they play anything post-combat. I think that sounds fine. Because it's just the difference of 1 damage, and I don't think this 1 damage is gonna matter a whole lot compared to them playing a anything. Insert anything relevant here. I wonder what they have. Pendelhaven. Okay, they could... Okay, what is this? What is this? Okay, well let's bolt this Ballista now. I just don't see a world where we want to keep it alive. They're gonna shoot us for 1. Oh, they're... Ha ha ha! Yeah. I guess if we thought scar ourselves and hit exactly Spell Snare, we definitely missed an opportunity. Okay, that's not a Spell Snare. Land for turn. Gasoline. Okay, so we have not hit a deprive this game, I don't think. Okay, good to check, good to check. We have 6 cards in our graveyard. We could just go Mantrels, Leaf Bolt, pass. Seems fine. I like it. I mean, we don't even have to leave Bolt, right? Because we have 2 of them. Actually, I still like leaving Bolt, right? Because I don't see a world where we're flashing back to off this game, and flashing back Bolt is is good for us because Mystic Sanctuary returns the card to our hand. So having this Snapcaster, we kind of want him to pair him with a Bolt, and then we might pair this Mystic Sanctuary that this Misty Rainforest is representing with a Bolt. Yes. We kill this in response. So we fetch Island, and we Ancient Grudge it. And our opponent didn't shoot us before, so they might just mess this up. I mean, really all they have to do is let it die, and then put the counters on the Hanger Backwalker. But it's possible they messed that up. And then we get to attack. Okay, I guess they're going to put it on a Thopter. I don't think that's better, though. I think they're better off just putting the counters on... it's a mess of triggers you got there, opponent. Okay, we have 3 cards in hand. They have 1 card in hand. And our board is much better than theirs is. Because if they, if they dump all the tokens onto 1, then we just kill it with the flashback Ancient Grudge, and then if they diversify it, then we get to bolt 1, and then Ancient Grudge the other. Which feels pretty good. No matter how you slice it, our opponent's just kind of a rough footing. We have 1 card in hand. We find a land. We feel good. Because it's a Mystic Sanctuary if it's a fetch. And then if we find a Deprive, then that's good as well. Because it answers all of their stuff. Dude, what is our opponent doing? I just don't understand. Okay, they're diversifying it. I guess they were just thinking about it. Because this way we're playing against their Delver of Secrets and their Tombstalker. But yeah, it's definitely hard to avoid missequencing with their deck. Let's draw for turn. That's interesting. Second Snapcaster is another reason to keep second Bolt. But let's go to combat. Trample damage goes over, so if they block with this, then we can just kill it. And if they don't block, then obviously we get to just hold our... Okay, well, they force us to do it. Which is fine. Forcing the action is definitely the right play there from our opponent. And then, of course, we have to tap our green because it's the only thing we can do. And then we let them untap because Pendelhaven does not pump Thopter. They play pretty much anything we're bolting this. Yeah, that's a reason to bolt. Okay, this lines up really well against our Snapcaster single target removal hand. Oh my, what is this? This is a big scary. Karn. Oh. I mean, they can create a 1-1. Or a 2-2, sorry. Forgive me. Okay, they created a 2-2. I don't know what the plan is here. Maybe they're just trying to buy time. Okay, now I just... Do I attack Karn for 4? Yeah, that sounds fine. And then just pass the turn with the private. And then if they don't play anything, then I get to snap bolt their construct. Which obviously does not, it just procs their welding jar, but I think they're using it now. Okay, they're not. I'm just not reading our opponent correctly, because they're playing strangely. I actually kind of like Once Upon a Time there for Once Upon a Time for... Okay. An opponent chooses one of them. Put that card into your hand. So we can either give them a forest or a welding jar. Obviously we give them the forest. Welding jar is an exile. They play their forest. They have 1 unknown. They have 2 unknowns. We let this resolve. It doesn't feel good, but we let it resolve. We have a universal counter in our hand, and they have mana to play something like a Ravager, which is going to be hard for us to beat. Inkmoth is not in the hard to beat category. Inkmoth is a 2/3, essentially, with Mentalhaven. And they have an Inkmoth Nexus in their hand after they play this Arcbound Worker. So... I mean, we can... I think we let this resolve. It's close. It's definitely close. This card's going to be challenging for us to beat. Because it's going to be a 2/2, and they have a welding jar. Oh, they don't play their Inkmoth Nexus. Oh, because they played a forest this turn. Super interesting. Well, now we can snap bolt this worker at their end step, and just going to tap it from the welding jar. And then we get to snap bolt on our turn again and kill it. And then they don't have any creatures to target it with. And then we get to go 2 at Karn, and then 4 at them. Oops. Bit of a missequence there. As far as like moto clicking goes. Okay, draw for turn. Oh my god, did we... Oh, we bolted Karn. I mean, I guess that works too. Okay, so let's begin combat. Attack. Put him to 7. Now we can play a Sanctuary. Put back Bolt. But we'll put back Bolt, that's fine. Pass the turn. The Snapcaster has a little bit less value, but that's alright. Because we get to deprive any important spell they play. And if they have nothing important, then we just win. Essentially. We don't exactly win, but it's close. We have Bolt on top, so we don't want to Once Upon a Time. So we're just going to untap. Draw for turn. And then now we just get to go to combat. Swing at them for 6. And then now we force them to block Crack Welding Jar. And they're just in a field of trouble. Because now they can Pendelhaven, but it's just a mess, you know? Okay, they're gonna block Mandrills with the Inkmoth, I'm assuming. Oh, and then pump and then take 4? Okay. That makes sense. So we'll go to damage. I'm assuming they're Pendelhaving this Inkmoth. There's no way they don't. So if they Pendelhaven, we're fine with that. Oh, they're regenning. Okay, well, they still take 2. And they're... Unless they can kill us. Okay, now we can bolt their Inkmoth Nexus. Or that we can bolt them too. I think we're fine just taking the, I don't know. No, this is going to be too problematic in the future, right? Yeah, let's kill it. And then, now they have no creatures. Or, well, okay, that one got regenerated, but that's fine. Pass. They start their turn. We still have Snap Bolt for next turn anyways. So it's not like we lost the Lightning Bolt. They play something good here. 2/2. And that doesn't do anything, right? Or I guess it's a 3/3. That does do something. Yeah. Let's deprive. Bounce the Mystic Sanctuary. Concession. Concede to me, opponent. You have no cards in hand. Oh my god. When was the last time we got a 2-0, guys? Does anybody know? When was the last time we 2-0'd somebody? I don't know, but I'm feeling good. This new list is super freaking spicy. You guys are about to witness Ericles' MTGO history. We crunched the numbers. We made this deck work. It's definitely a spicy one. So yeah, now we have 3 viewers. So this is what we're playing today. Obviously, if you watched the last game, we are playing Mystic Sanctuary in our Delver deck, which is pretty cool. But we're still in 18 lands. It is a hot take if I've ever seen one. This hand seems fine. We have turn 2 Mandrills. We're going to go to our main phase. We're going to play a Flooded Strand. We're going to pass the turn. This is just going to be a Steam Vents, probably, into an Opt. Okay, they pass here, which means that we're just going to execute the Hooting Mandrill's game plan. There's no reason not to. It's possible they're playing Burn, and we feel pretty bad here. But at the same time, we have a turn 2 Mandrills, so like, how bad can you actually feel against Burn? Okay, let's undo this. Let's cast an Opt. This is essentially a free spell. I like Third Land. Third Land sounds good. And then I'll play Mandrills. And then we get to pass it to them, and then next turn we get to hold up. Double counter spell. We're hitting our land drops, and depending on what our opponent's playing, this Mandrills could just carry us all the way. Our opponent's playing Jund. And they have a 1/2 Tarmogoyf. Delve is a very good mechanic. Let's go to combat. Smack him upside the face for 4. They go to 15. If they play Liliana, we get the Spell Pierce out. They probably swing at us for 1 here. Oh, they're tapping out. Or they're at least fetching. Oh my god. They think this Liliana is going to win them the game. Oh, goodbye, opponent. You served your duty. I mean, now Tarmogoyf's a 3-4. Which is a partially relevant piece of information. Draw for turn. Let's hit him for 4. This is a slaughter. This is some Jund brutality right here. Okay, they're at 7. We have a Lightning Bolt in our graveyard, and a Snapcaster Mage in our hand, and a Hooting Mandrills in play. Their best case is they double spell us here. Like Tarmogoyf or something. And then we get to... If they go Tarmogoyf, we pretty much have to spell snare. Okay, this is best case scenario for us. We get to Snapcaster, Spell Pierce, untap, 4, 6. Good game, opponent. We get to bring in my least favorite Magic card. We get to bring in my favorite Magic card. What an absolutely polarizing sideboard. Just the best of both worlds. The best and the worst of the world. Right there, we just saw how broken Spell Pierce is. Much rather we have that than Force Negation. Burst Lightning is generally bad, unless they're running Bob. And then, even then, it's still pretty bad. Thought Scour goes out because they have Hand Disruption. Opt is good. Snag is meh, so it's going out. We don't like meh cards, we like good cards. Speaking of meh cards, we are going to be trimming. We could trim 1 opt on, that's fine. I think 1-1. Take out 4, put in 6. I math somewhere. Oh, there we go. There's 6. Yeah, those are the 6 guys we took out. Okay. Yeah, and guys, feel free to comment in chat. That's why I have the chat on my sidebar on my screen, which you guys can see. You know what hands I'm not going to keep? I'm not going to keep this one. You know what hands I'm not going to keep? This feels so bad mulliganing to 5, but we're not keeping it. I mean, it's a 5 card hand. It's better than whatever we've had. Let's get rid of Deprive Bolt. Done. That's brutal. Our opponent probably just runs us over this game. That's interesting. Let's play it. Let's force them to be on the reactive this game. They probably have a push for this. No, they do not have a push. Or a bolt. Which means... And they're running Bob too, so our bolt looks pretty good. And they're light on removal. So here we're faced with an interesting dilemma. Do we bolt the Bob? Or do we deprive the potential Liliana? And I think the answer is bolting the Bob. Because we don't want them to get too many cards ahead of us. But it's definitely close, because if they Liliana us here, then we're just in a bad situation. I don't know what that is. Okay, and then that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. They Lily, we lose our Delver. Now I think we just go to 15, get perfect mana. Let's opt. Delver's pretty good. See if we draw another land. Oh my god. I think we probably just bolt Lily past the turn. Yeah, I think holding this, like keeping this deprive in our hand is very valuable. So that's what we're gonna do. Because otherwise they just plus. Okay, well there goes our deprive. We've probably lost this game. I mean, it was a bolt 5 on the draw against Jund. They found green mana, which was the only thing going for us. They probably played Tarmogoyf here. Liliana, yikes. Minus. We'll play it out, but this game is not looking good for us. Pass the turn. They probably won't play anything into the spell snare. They'll just plus Lily. Yep. Discard the spell snare. Oh, we didn't even get to click it. Yep. If we don't draw a kill spell for... Oh, we're just probably conceding this game right now, right? Yeah, let's concede. They haven't seen Hexdrinker, and I'm not inclined to show them. Run it back, we get to be on the play. Hopefully we get to keep a 7-card hand. I like this matchup, though. It's fun. And as you can see, it can definitely be a slaughter either way, depending on how draws shape out. But if we draw lands, like this hand's fine. Delver into Spell Snare is just good, though. So I think we're keeping. Mystic Sanctuary obviously isn't great, but it does guarantee that we do have a second land. Like, it is a tap land. But let's play this Delver. Pass the turn. Our opponent might have a kill spell for it. Does not look like they do. Upkeep, we're fine if it's a land, we're fine if it's not a land. What's it gonna be? Okay, that was not a land that we were looking for. But we're drawing it. Because we can't risk not hitting a land off this Thought Scour. So let's begin the combat. Hit him for 1. Play a land past the turn. Tapped. Okay. They're not running a whole lot of 1-mana removal, are they? Wrenn and 6 is of course scary here, but we have Spell Snare for it. To play anything here, we're Spell Snaring it. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, like if we had red for Bolt, then obviously we wouldn't be so inclined to Spell Snare. Hopefully we get a green source here for Veil of Summer. Okay, okay, that's reasonable. I like it. And then this next Mystic Sanctuary actually comes in untapped. See what we have to work with. Pass. If they Liliana, we get to Veil of Summer in response to the activation. They Wrenn in 6, we feel atrocious here. No Wrenn? Brutality. -2/-2. Reveal. What if I played 1-mana Cryptic Command? Counter your spell that cost you another card. Dude, imagine if the balance team actually released a card that was so unbelievably powerful. Okay, what's it gonna be? Deprive? Deprive would be pretty crazy. Oh, okay. I don't even want a Sanctuary target Veil of Summer, because we have Snap for Veil of Summer. So I think we're gonna hit for 1. And then we're just going to... I mean, play Hex Drinker level seems pretty good. I guess we can Sanctuary, bring back Veil of Summer, and then just play and level this Hex Drinker this turn. That seems fine. I'm getting tired. I'm gonna stop after this match. I didn't see that line earlier. I need to be honest with myself. Like, if we're not seeing these lines, then we just need to reevaluate, reassess, and also this is going to Progenitus mode next turn. You got it. What would you like, opponent? You got a Tarmogoyf. Got it, opponent. Yep. They already know it's there. Draw for turn. We'll get a little feisty. We'll level... unless they have double removal spell next turn, they just die. So I think I'm fine with that. Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay guys, that concludes our matches for today. 2-0. Deck feels sweet. I think I'm going to order my Sanctuaries in paper. It just feels good. Definitely could use a little bit of tuning. Whoops. Magic Online. So yeah, here's the list. Feel free to take a screenshot. I feel like all of the cards perform pretty well. I did a bit of a recap after match 1, and I played a round in the tournament practice room. But super solid. I enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will catch you guys around. Peace.